make a video, first I need to think about it. We're not getting anywhere, are we? That's the beauty and the trouble with thought. All change comes from a thought. It all starts with an idea, a notion, a concept. But the gold is in the action. You can think about doing a thing as much as you want. And sometimes it's nice to take a little mental vacation and fantasize about that resort house we own in Hawaii or whatever it is. Sitting on the beach and just pretend. When it comes to things that you actually want or need in your life, it doesn't have to be monumental action, but an action. It's a million times better than a million thoughts. You can think as deeply and profoundly and evocatively as you want about a particular concept, need in the world, need in your life, approach in a relationship, etc. How you're going to go about this thing. In fact, you can think so much about it that your thinking becomes in action. Change occurs with action. Your thinking can serve as in action. If you watch a motivational video and you get all psyched up about a concept of a thing, all moved and motivated, and you get a temporary boost of happiness or fulfillment or joy or excitement or adventure from whatever it is that you are just absorbing, hearing about, listening to, thinking about, a podcast, a video game, whatever it was that floated your boat. And you get that temporary boost. It's the same as going out and purchasing an item. It lasts for about 10 seconds and then it's done. It doesn't actually change anything. You can get to a place where you feel as though you've thought about it. It's as good as doing it. You've done your due diligence. You think about it a lot, and you feel as though the thinking is the action, or you just never get around to actually doing the thing that you've been thinking about doing, even though you spend a lot of time thinking about it. And then that leaves you feeling like you're failing or falling short if you spend a lot of time thinking about a thing. It spins around and around over and over in your head, and you don't live up to those expectations that you built up in your brain about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and then you don't do it. You don't follow through with action. You begin to guilt and shame and blame yourself for not being or doing what you've been conceiving of. You differentiate a fantasy and a plan of action, a goal, or something you can do something about. Improving your relationship. You can have a million wonderful thoughts about your partner. People can't read our minds. If you want to improve the relationship, at least say it. A small action, just verbalizing it to your partner about those wonderful qualities, your appreciation, your gratitude for them, your respect for them, your admiration for them, for X, Y, and Z. The act of telling them those things that you know are good and great and worthy about them, versus just noticing them, thinking about them, appreciating them unto yourself. That can help improve intimacy, and that's a small action, just simply voicing your thoughts. We can change our Instagram pictures and our Facebook profile picture to support a cause, and we think we've done something versus actually doing something. We can think about it a lot, maybe even talk about it amongst ourselves or to each other, and not actually do anything about it or try to do anything. We think we have done something by changing our profile picture on Facebook. I'm not saying you have to solve society's problems. I'm not saying you have the answers for everything. What I am saying is that a tiny action is worth 1,000,000 thoughts. Because nothing changes if nothing changes. And action is where the change is. So if you've been thinking about something and you don't know how or where or when to begin, just begin. You don't have to be perfect right out the gate. No one is. If you want to improve your eating habits and you have a salad instead of a cake, kudos. Or you ate an apple today. Kudos. Or you took your vitamins. Kudos. You did a thing. Doesn't have to be becoming a marathon runner. It just has to be something. And the more things you do, the more they will spring to other things. And simply sharing what you're thinking, like I gave in the example with your partner or friend, sharing your feelings and your thoughts. That gesture is worth 1,000,000 positive thoughts. Aren't going to improve your relationship if your partner doesn't know that you're experiencing them. So to increase your intimacy, share those thoughts, get them out there, make them material. To improve your life, try to sort out what's a fantasy and what's a concept that I can do something with. And start to do something with those concepts. Stop guilting yourself for the things that are just fantasy. Allow yourself to have fantasy. Stop guilting yourself for it. And move on the things that are concepts in any way that you can. Tiny ways. Because a small act, such as a bad video, is worth 1,000,000 thoughts. I could have sat here on camera and just thought, because I bounce right off these as soon as I see them, and thought of a very eloquent and articulate video about this quote to give you. But if I did that, it may never have come to fruition at all. Or I could have just recorded myself thinking. And what good would you have got from that? Nothing. Because the only one who can appreciate your thinking is you. So if you want to make a change for yourself in your life, in your relationships, in the world, act. Somewhere, anywhere. A tiny, tiny act. You don't have to move the mountain. Just be a raindrop. Rain can cut through mountains and make them canyons one drop at a time. Remember, a tiny, small act is worth 1,000,000 thoughts. Good morning, goodbye, good day. Try to find something somewhere in your life that you can pounce on today, that you can act on, versus just consider. Good morning, goodbye. Love you guys.